Today, we're going to dig into a few basic fundamental rules of the universe. Rules that, believe it or not, might just explain everything from your career to your relationships. So let's just dive right in.
So let's start with a question. What could a dying star, this massive cosmic event, possibly have in common with a dying friendship? I mean, they seem like they're from completely different worlds, right?
Well, as it turns out, they're not so different after all. The exact same invisible rules are pulling the strings in both situations. And no, we're not just talking about some old physics for steam engines. These are like the fundamental terms and conditions for being alive.
What we're talking about here are the laws of thermodynamics. Yeah, I know, sounds like high school physics, but stick with me. These laws govern energy, heat, chaos, the whole shebang across the entire cosmos. And, as you're about to see, they offer a stunningly accurate blueprint for our own lives too.
Okay, so let's kick things off with a law that's so fundamental, they actually had to go back and name it after they'd named the first few. Kind of funny, right? It's called the zeroth law, and really, it's all about balance, or what we might just call your vibe.
Now, in the world of physics, this is super straightforward. It's basically why a thermometer works. If your coffee is in equilibrium with the thermometer, and the air is in equilibrium with the thermometer, then the coffee and the air are in equilibrium with each other. They're the same temperature. Simple enough. But what happens when we apply this exact same logic to people? This is where we get the social circle rule. So, think of your mood, your energy level, as your personal temperature. When you hang out with people, all your energies start to mix and mingle until you all kind of settle at a shared equilibrium. It's why they say you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. It's literally physics.
And this quote just nails a feeling we have all had, right? You walk into a room, you're feeling great, full of energy, and then you spend an hour with someone who's super negative or just drained, and you can feel your own energy just leaking away. In a very real sense, they are cooling you down to their level.
All right, on to the next one. This is the first law, but you can think of it as the ultimate no free lunch law of the entire universe.
So, the science here is crystal clear. The total amount of energy in an isolated system, like the universe, is constant. You can't create it, you can't destroy it, it has to come from somewhere. It just changes form.
And you can see how this applies directly to our lives, can't you? You can't just wish a great career or a loving relationship into existence. That high-energy state of success or happiness, it has to be fueled by an input of your energy, your time, your focus, your emotional labor.
And that really is the bottom line, isn't it? If you stop putting in the work, things don't just stay the same. The system runs out of fuel. You just can't get out more than you put in, period.
Okay, now we're getting to what might be the most profound and maybe the most human law of them all, the second law. This is the one that explains why things fall apart, why relationships can fade, and why your bedroom always gets messy. This is the big one, the law of entropy. And to put it really simply, it just means that the universe is constantly, always, moving toward a state of greater disorder, more chaos. It's a one-way street, from neat and tidy to a total mess. Just let that sink in for a second. Chaos is the default setting of the universe. Order isn't natural. Harmony isn't the baseline. Chaos is. So anything orderly, anything beautiful is something we have to actively build and maintain against this constant cosmic pressure. And you see this in the relationship decay rule. A broken cup is never, ever going to spontaneously reassemble itself. And a relationship, if you just leave it alone, if you do nothing, it won't just stay fine. It will naturally, inevitably, drift into resentment and distance, pulled apart by the universe's tendency toward disorder.
This relentless, unstoppable increase in disorder, that's what gives time its direction. It's why we remember the past but not the future. It's why eggs break but don't unbreak. The arrow of time only points one way, towards more and more entropy. And this has such a powerful emotional consequence. It's why you can't truly unsay something hurtful. Once you've said it, you've introduced disorder into the system. You can apologize, you can try to fix it, you can add new energy, but you can never really erase the event. The system is forever changed.
All right, our last law. And this one is a really powerful warning about a trap that so many of us fall into. And that is the pursuit of perfection.
So in physics, there's this theoretical temperature called absolute zero. It's the coldest anything can possibly get. It's a state where all molecular motion would just stop, dead. And what the third law says is that you can get really, really close to it, but you can never, ever actually reach it.
See, the closer you get to absolute zero, the exponentially harder becomes to remove that last little bit of heat. And the exact same thing is true for perfection in our lives. Chasing a perfect life or a perfect body. You can get 99% of the way there, sure, but getting that last 1%, it will require a colossal, completely unsustainable amount of your energy. It will drain you of everything.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, there's a great little gambling analogy that physicists use to sum it all up. The first law says, you can't win. You can't get something for nothing. The second law says, you can't even break even. You're always going to lose some energy to chaos. And the third law? It says you can't quit the game. You can never get to absolute zero and stop.
Now, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds kind of bleak, right? But it's not. It's really not. Understanding the rules of the game isn't about giving up. It's about learning how to play it smart. It means realizing that if you want to build anything, you have to be the engine. And this is the whole point. Chaos is the default. Order requires effort. Life is an active, not a passive process. A beautiful garden, a strong body, a loving family, none of these things just happen. They are a constant, deliberate fight against the universe's natural slide into chaos. Every single one requires your energy.
So that leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? The universe has given you a finite budget of time and energy. You can't win, you can't break even, and you can't quit the game. So knowing all that, what kind of order are you going to choose to create? In the face of all this inevitable chaos, what to you is worth the effort?